Are you thinking about moving to the Woodlands, Texas in 2025? Let me give you the full scoop, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between so you can see if the Woodlands, Texas is the right place for you. Now, if you don't already know, my name is Marco Sierra, and I'm a realtor here in the greater Houston area. But this channel is dedicated specifically to Montgomery County, Texas, which is cities like Conroe, the Woodlands, New Caney, and other major cities in Montgomery County, Texas. So here you'll learn everything you need to know about moving to this wonderful part of Texas and the greater Houston area. So please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment if you have any questions about any specific communities or cities. But in today's video, we're going to be covering the Woodlands, and I'm going to give you 5 pros and cons, and I'm going to be completely honest and blunt about the Woodlands, Texas. So stay tuned to the end and to see if this is the right place for you. So let's start with the reasons that so many people move to the Woodlands in the first place. So the Woodlands lives up to its name because they preserve the environment. The Woodlands was designed to not only provide residents with those conveniences, but also still preserve the environment and the trees and the woods. So there are over 220 miles of trails for hiking and biking, and there's 130 parks scattered throughout the area. And you can also go to Lake Woodlands, where you can just kind of gather the community, have some events, or have a picnic and just really enjoy the water. You can throw your kayak in the water, go fishing. So it's a really common spot where people in the Woodlands will meet and just connect with the outdoors. The second reason I want to discuss is the school districts. In the past, when I've had clients looking to move to the Woodlands, 9 times out of 10, they gravitated towards the Woodlands specifically for the school district. Conroe ISD comes rated as one of the highest rated school districts, not only in the greater Houston area, but all of Texas. One of the most standout schools is the Woodlands High School, which has been nationally recognized, and another standout is McCullough Junior High. Also, if you're looking for private school options, there are a ton of options in the area. So if you're looking for smaller classroom sizes or specialized curriculums, there are plenty of options in the Woodlands. And another thing I want to point out is I personally went to Spring High School, which is in Spring ISD, about 20 minutes from the Woodlands High School. So the Woodlands has always been one of our rivals. And as much as it pains me to say it, they were always better than us. The sports program in the Woodlands generally is one of the best in all of the greater Houston area. So if you have kids in sports, you can be comfortable knowing that they're going to, a highly rated school in the district. Number three is going to be the major job opportunities in the Woodlands. The Woodlands is home to many major corporations such as Chevron, Exxon, and a ton of other major corporations that have their headquarters in the Woodlands. So not only do you get a ton of job opportunities, specifically in the Woodlands, you're also still within 30 miles of Houston. So if you have to commute to downtown, you can still do so when living in the Woodlands. So if you're someone in the healthcare industry or the tech industry, you still have that option of commuting to downtown because you're still within, distance of downtown Houston. The next reason I want to talk about is their overall community and the events that are held in the Woodlands. In the Woodlands, it's just a great vibe overall. There's always something going on. There's always some sort of event. There's festivals throughout the year. They host several marathons in the Woodlands. So again, there's always something going on as far as entertainment. Also, you have the waterway, which is right next to the Woodlands. And so if you just want to go, walk by the waterway, they're always playing some music. There's a ton of dining options on the waterway. So it's a great spot just to have a good time and really, spend some time with friends and family and just go out for the night. The last reason I want to discuss is the overall design of the Woodlands. The Woodlands is a master plan community, meaning that the community is divided into several villages, and each one of these villages has their own shopping centers and entertainment options, dining options, etc. So this means that the Woodlands was designed to be convenient and thoughtfully planned out so it's the most convenient for its residents. And there are a ton of entertainment hubs such as the Woodlands Mall, the Waterway, Market Street, which again have a ton of shopping options, dining, and just different forms of entertainment. So again, there's no shortage of things to do. And again, it's just been thoughtfully designed and laid out to be the most convenient for its residents. So now that we've discussed all the good and pretty things about the Woodlands, I'm here to give you the real hard truth, the ugly truths about the Woodlands. So the first thing I want to get into is, of course, you do have to pay for all these beautiful amenities and the convenience that the Woodlands offers. So the Woodlands is known as one of the more expensive communities and cities to live in the greater Houston area. And if you're new to Texas, property taxes can be somewhat of a shock to newcomers, as they are typically higher here in Texas. But a lot of times there are a ton of amenities and reasons to justify those higher taxes. But again, it can become a shock if you're someone who's not from Texas. The second reason we have to discuss is the traffic and the commute. So again, I'm here to give you the honest truth. I've been saying that the Woodlands has been thoughtfully designed and planned out to minimize traffic. But at the end of the day, the Woodlands is a very popular spot, and really the only way to get into the Woodlands is by going through Highway 45. And so if you're not from Texas, let me give you a little background about Highway 45. Highway 45 is one of the biggest and major freeways, not only in Houston but all of Texas. So Highway 45 is going to, start down at Galveston, by the shore, and it's going to take you all the way past Houston through downtown. You're past up the Woodlands, and you can go all the way up to Dallas and even further. So it's a major highway, and so if you have to commute, to the Woodlands or out of the Woodlands during rush hour, it is going to be a hassle. Even if it was designed to minimize traffic, again, you just still get a lot of congestion and traffic during rush hour. The third reason I want to discuss is not really specific to the Woodlands, but if you're new to Texas as a whole and you're not familiar with the weather here in the greater Houston area, it can be a bit of a surprise. So the weather here in Houston is hot and humid. So, and it's not the same hot that you get in Arizona, which is a dry heat. Again, it's a very humid weather. So during the summer, you're going to see 90-degree plus every single day. We will get to the hundreds, and it seems like every year, we get hotter and hotter just as a whole. I don't know if it's global warming or what it is, but it just seems like every year it is getting hotter and hotter. So you definitely want to keep that in mind, that the Woodlands and Houston and Texas pretty much as a whole, or at least in Houston, the weather is very hot. It is very humid. In the winter, we do get some cold weather, but very rarely, do we get any type of snow. Maybe every 5 years we have, an inch of snow and everybody freaks out. But overall, the weather is pretty hot and humid. The next reason I want to discuss is the HOA restrictions within the Woodlands. So if you're going to live in any of the major neighborhoods in the Woodlands, you're going to have a homeowners association. And the homeowners association in the Woodlands are extremely strict. Now, this can be a benefit and a con at the same time, because homeowners associations are in place to maintain the overall environment and cleanliness of the community and just keep a uniform look throughout the homes. They don't want to have a purple house and a pink house on the street, and throw off the entire look of the neighborhood. So they're in place to maintain, the overall look of the community. Again, they don't want 30 cars parked in the driveway. And so it's just something to keep in mind if you value that kind of freedom of what you can do to your property, because there are restrictions in the communities, and sometimes you have to ask for permission for certain things that you want to do to your own home. So again, it's just something to keep in mind if you're looking to move to one of the neighborhoods in the Woodlands. The last thing I want to discuss is probably the least important, and it may not bother you one bit, but I do want to point it out, and it's the fact that there is a limited nightlife in the Woodlands. So while I've been saying there's a ton of entertainment options and dining and shopping, if you're someone who's into the late night activities, you like to go clubbing or go to the bars, there's pretty limited options in the Woodlands. There are a ton of bars that you can enjoy, but if you're looking for more of a club scene, you're probably going to have to go into Houston. So, with all that being said, you're still within about 30 minutes of downtown Houston, where you have all the major bars and clubs in the city. But it's just something to keep in mind if you're someone who does like to enjoy the nightlife. All right, folks, well, there you have it. I told you I was going to be honest, I was going to be blunt, and I hope you have a good understanding of the pros and cons of living in the Woodlands. So, if you're thinking about making a move, if you've been considering moving to the Woodlands, I'd love to help. And maybe you have some additional questions that I didn't address in this video. Please feel free to give me a call. I'd love to help, and subscribe to the channel, because I will be sharing more tips and things about the community, neighborhoods in the area, things to do. So just subscribe to the channel for more content. And if you have any suggestions or things you want to see on the channel, please feel free to drop them in the comments and let me know. I'm always open to ideas. So again, I appreciate you sticking to the end. If you're still here, check out some other videos here on the page, as there are a ton of community tours where you can see actual homes that are available in Montgomery County. And again, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and I hope you got a clear understanding about the Woodlands.